Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play EU4 Super ULM, or New ULM, because I'm bad at naming things. Things are pretty good, especially if you consider that Switzerland here is my vassal, France is my ally, Austria is my ally, Bohemia is my ally, Milan is my ally. Who's that? Oh, that's bits of Austria, right? Of course. Currently, we are technically in a war against England because France has taken back some of its holdings. France had a bit of a hard time this game, but overall doing okay. We do have a little bit of money. We could consider getting an advisor. But I think I'll just mostly just save the money. I may want to actually invest in a building here. Okay, we'll recall our diplomat. Ooh, that's a tough decision. Everyone knows PowerPoints are good. Switzerland's opinion of me is already pretty capped. So, you know, military power is good. However, mercantilism isn't something that you can normally bring up. And while we're not much of a trade power, it's still going to be really, really good on that. We need to rely on our own resources. Well, I don't know if that's true, but we're going to go that way. And we're going to like it, damn it. I can start annexing Switzerland as soon as I'm at peace. Hopefully France will do that soon. It's got its war goal, so it should be ticking ahead. It's almost completely maxed, so they'll be getting their call for peace relatively soon, too. So they'll look to do something. They might not be able to take back everything, but they'll be able to take back most of it, so that's nice. We could build some buildings. You know, this treasury. Like, I'm trying to save my money just as a backup, but, yeah, that's not going to be quite enough money right now because I think there's too much autonomy. We'll get back to them. We're not... Oh, we actually are pretty negative right now. Oh, that's because they have recent uprising. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to mess with that quite yet. Oh, idea group. I was doing some thinking, and I'm going to go ahead with defensive. I think it's going to work out pretty well. If anyone does declare war on us, it's going to take them sort of a long time to trudge around through our territory. We can weaken them this way. Plus, I mean, it's always good. This morale of the armies is always nice. The yearly army tradition is never bad. Always having more maneuvers so we can cross all these crazy rivers over here. We can minimize the chance of getting those and so on and so forth. I think it's a perfectly fine idea. So we're going to go ahead and take that. I don't know if I've taken defensive in quite a long time, so we're going to go and do that. We're going to invest points in it, certainly, because we are ahead in military tech. So we don't want to pay the ahead of time penalty, so we may as well sink points in there. And of course, we'll get closer to unlocking some more of these things, like more diplomatic relations. We already have +1 from one of our influence ideas. There we go. Bam. And of course, we'll be able to build an embassy relatively soon. So soon we'll be able to cover a lot of relationships, which is good, because our alliance web is apparently going to be pretty important. We'll get a little bit less unrest for a little while, which is nice. We do have these heretics building up over here, but we're slowing them down a little. And they might actually never get an uprising if we keep slowing them down, not having some people around, because their nationalism will burn off over time. We do currently have our negative stability as well, which doesn't help anything. I want to finish my influence ideas group. Oh yeah, we'll get the... Do we already have this? I think we do. We must. Yeah. So we'll just get Marcher Lords next. Subject force limit contribution. We only have one subject right now. We're actually going to start eating him up, but soon we're going to go ahead and do more. In fact, we may be interested. There we go. Boom. Got that. And 50% less penalty for unjustified demands, which is pretty handy for us because we have a lot of unjustified demands. So let's take a look over here. Nuremberg, you're cool, and almost certainly you'd be willing to be vassalized. No. What's your tax base? Base tax 12. Okay. Apparently I should have played these guys, not Ulm. Frankfurt. Well, you hate me. But if you didn't hate me... No. Outraged. Is that the good general? No, that's the older general. Has just died. There we go. We're at peace. Excellent. All right. I like peace. Let's go ahead and eat these guys. Nom 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 nom. Will upset people when you annex a member of the HRE, but that's all right. Too few rivals. Alsace is here. Augsburg is here, which wouldn't be a terrible target. Who are you allied with? You're allied with Ansbach only. Well, and they're already one of my rivals. Listen, Augsburg. Boom. We're gonna do that. I'm actually tempted to eat you right now. We don't have a CB? Really? All right. I could fabricate one, but the problem is I have aggressive expansion still. So mostly I'm just going to sit on my hands a little longer. Oh, Würzburg. Yeah, can we... Tell you what, let's ally with you, buddy. I'm going to have relationship slots. We got a mission for it. So we'll do that. Too many diplomatic things. all we need is our next ID over here, and then we'll have +2, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right, you can't marry. I love you guys! Switzerland likes me even more. Excellent. Let's improve that. So all we need to do is wait to 125, and we just did. Now we can probably stop improving it. Yeah. Free up a diplomat again. Manpower reserves need to recover, which will give us 10 army tradition, which ain't bad. Oh, incorporate Switzerland. We're going to do that. It's actually going to happen really fast, so let's just work on that. Then it might give me a mission to fabricate a claim, which I guess I will risk. We do have to very carefully manage our aggressive expansion here. Don't want a coalition to trigger against us. And there's going to be a tipping point where we're like, all right, so now we got, you know, some 45s in this, and if you like get like 10 more or something like that, like it depends on how everyone feels about me and my alliances, which are pretty strong. But then it'll just snowball where like everyone's like, no, screw you, this is too much, too many people are willing to join, and they're just going to crush me. Wow, Austria's just eating up Burgundy. Oh yeah, I want a royal marriage over here. Yeah, I don't know. I got too many alliances with people I can't marry. I want to spread my seed around. Let's just improve relations for now. When am I? 6 years before we'll get it. Well, I guess we're not generating that much military power right now. I could change my focus, but more accurately, what's going to happen is when we switch to our next leader, 76. So in 84. We'll get another election. I can switch to one with a military thing. Lost its claim on St. Gallen, which is fine. I have no intention of declaring war on Switzerland in any way whatsoever. Now, when they do join, they're going to join with, what, 75% autonomy? Which is pretty high. That is one thing. If you conquer someone, they have less autonomy in the provinces. But then you got a quorum, you got nationalism, and different things like that. So it's still better if you can. It's just too bad that I can't Diplo annex people. Outraged attitude and the tax base. What's your tax base here? 9. Wow, there's some really high value provinces kicking around. Ansbach is actually quite a bit lower. If they didn't hate me, they'd probably be willing to do it. Yeah, there's a penalty because of the member of the empire. That's true. Forgot about that. But yeah, other than that, if we weren't rivals, I could probably convince them to do it eventually, but it's never going to happen. Oh my god. France declared war on Burgundy. They cite coalition. Wait, a separate coalition? Burgundy's in 2 separate coalition wars? Punitive war, punitive war. Wow. Impressive. I'm very impressed. Well, I was scared about Burgundy for a while, but because they were getting so big, but apparently they've been punished for that. I'm actually not used to seeing the AI do so many coalition wars. I'm really surprised, and maybe it's because I haven't played in like sort of Central Europe here in a while. You know, I did the Sweden game, but I was way over here. I didn't care what these screwballs did. Truce with the Papal States, Castile, Brunswick declares war on Ansbach. Wait. There's a coalition against Ansbach? Ansbach. Right, no, they did have, you remember, like several episodes ago, they actually did have quite a bit of aggressive expansion. Like, they have similar numbers to me, but they're a lot weaker, and they didn't have alliances to cover them. Someone might take them, or they might just get spanked around a little bit, which would be, I guess, fair. So yeah, that's why I gotta make sure not to trigger anything inappropriately on my side. Right now, we're just quite happy with letting my people get happy. Oh, there we go. Oh, my leader actually died, so I couldn't even re-elect him. I'm going to go ahead and go with the military leader, even though because we are ahead of time in our military tech, but we do have actual ideas now, and we'd like to power through that as quickly as possible. We are going to go with a spare no expense. And how is our inflation? Perfect. Wonderful timing. Excellent vintage, increased innovation, all these things are expiring. We still have maximum maintenance here because we're trying to keep down that unrest, which so far is working. We could probably let it fire, actually, as long as I'm not standing there. We've integrated Switzerland. Boom. Recall. Perfect. Yay, mission completed. Cardinal Minister. It's 10 years. Missionary strength, tolerance, none of that really matters. You get more papal influence, and I guess that's a thing. Oh, or we can just take some prestige. Let's just take the prestige. That's going to be fine. Let's take a look at our missions. Become papal controller. Manpower recover. Could, actually. Right, or we could take Falls over here, because we did get a thing for it. The problem is, they have really, really good allies who would jump in. Hesse wouldn't, but Austria would defend them, which we don't want to do. So, I don't know, we'll take the manpower recovery thing. I'll be surprised if I actually am able to sit on my hands long enough for that to happen. This is just farmland, so you know what we'll do? We can let the rebellion pop. It's when it's in the mountains or something that you really want to avoid it. By doing this, I can go and bring my... Oh, I wasn't even at full maintenance. God, that would have been really bad if that rebellion popped on there. We can let them show up, and then, you know, it'll be 20 years without the rebellion, and we'll be okay. War exhaustion is almost completely gone. We are not overextended in any way whatsoever. Our stability is low, and we'll give them that, but, you know, if we're not in a dire situation, we may as well do that. We are pretty high ahead of time on admin. It probably wouldn't hurt to go and lower it. It sucks that our Republican tradition is not actually that bad, actually. So that cost is bearable. We're getting less trade power, more interest, less caravan power. Yeah, it's not so bad, actually. I think stability used to give us a lot more. Maybe when you're positive, because you should get more taxes. Maybe you don't lose taxes when you're negative, but you gain some when you're positive. That would be fair, I suppose. I really want a improved relations guy. Oh, this guy again. Give me more prestige. Cool, thank you. Aggressive expansion impact is less the more prestige you have. I don't think I've ever cared so much about that. Oh, they've got one of the female characters here. National tax modifier is pretty good. I mean, she still won't quite pay for herself, but we get more admin points, which is nice. You know what? I could also grab this guy, because while it'll make it harder, well, not harder, it's exactly the same. The cap is higher, so completing this quest will be harder, but whenever he dies, my cap will lower, but my current manpower will not. Right, so he's making my cap higher, which means the amount I gain every month is more. So, yeah, which is good. Speaking of, though. Anything here? So that's been annexed, but they have too much independence. We'll have to revisit this later. Might still be worth building a couple of armories. There and there for 19. We'll have to wait for the independence to go away. I don't know what they build in Waldstadt, but apparently we can make a decent amount of bonus cash doing that, and then we'll stop spending. What is it? Oh, it's iron. Okay. Yeah, most of the provinces I have are not worth that much. The tax base is very middling in this area. We have a lot of territory, but like even Ulm at an 8 is nothing. Ansbach, another coalition trigger. Wow. Even Ulm at an 8 is nothing compared to, come on, autosave, to Augsburg here, 10, Nuremberg at a 12. Like, Ansbach might be the next thing we take, and it's only a 5. Like, we're not really getting the super high value provinces, and we're having to, like, scrape for each one of them. But, you know, I can't complain too much about our situation. I was going to say, we're probably way over our force limit. You know what this means to me? This says to me it's time to start a war. Of course, if I start the war, this will instantly fail. But then we should be able to instantly pick a mission again. Whereas if cancel, I have to wait a year. We're losing money. And, oh, right, you're freaking allied to freaking Austria. God damn it. Who else do I have a CB on? No one. Who are you allied with? No one relevant, and in fact, including the Palatinate, but this won't bring Austria in. Okay, so I need to fabricate a claim on Alsace. Okay. Bring the maintenance back down. Bring my troops to the border. With the super general at that. This is a triggered event. It's not a normal uprising. These mountains here, so we definitely want to be standing on it first. Oh, and we need to bring our maintenance up, which we don't have. So we want to be there with full maintenance. I'm surprised I remembered the maintenance. And so I'm just going to wait. At 2 months, this will automatically pop the event, but by then we'll have a little bit of morale. So we should be okay. There we go. Hopefully okay. How many? 7 peasants. Peasants are the weakest type of rebels, and there's going to be half as many of them as there are troops over there. We should get our second morale tick before the peasants trigger. So we won't be at full. We'll only be about half, but we'll be much better equipped. And we still have the turbo general, Johann von Hustling. There we are. So they'll trigger in a second here, most likely. I think that should be up to 2 months. Emperor has enacted imperial reforms. That's great. Look, building cost and technology cost is lower. Oh, are you kidding me? Turbo General just died? Well, he's not bad. That's kind of annoying. You know, he died before we had a real war. 50% through getting that claim. We do have the modifier. Oh, well, you know, just fire. I thought it was 2 months. I know the call to arms is 2 months. Some of these other pop-ups might be, I don't know, maybe it's 90 days. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't think it's indefinite. Although maybe it is. No. No, they have decisions. Apparently we're not getting attrition here, so I may as well just stand in one spot. So yeah, I have a thing that increases my my speed to fabricate claim, which is good, because not only is it convenient that it fabricates faster, but your chance for discovery is per month. So if you are doing it for less month, then you're going to be in better shape overall. Armories are done. And yeah, we'll fail in this mission to help our manpower recover. Oh well, that's typical. It's a great time to attack these guys, though. There's so many things that are just in our favor. And one of the things I'm looking to do is actually burn off some dudes. Like, we're going to take a few losses, because we're 4 over our limit. We're going to take a few losses and then consolidate our troops. As opposed to just, you know, getting rid of them. Nearly there, nearly there. Bum, 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 bum. Alsace is going to be mine. Maybe even the Palatinate. We have to be careful, of course. Okay. CB has triggered. So, we could Royal Marry them and everything. So, what we're going to do is we're going to declare war here. We're not going to co-belligerize the Palatinate, because then they could call in Austria and so on and so forth. But this way, we do get to fight a few people. Okay. Let's move in there. We are at full maintenance, yeah? Yeah, good. Austria... You finished your war against Burgundy. Okay. I wonder what happened exactly. I probably got a pop-up for it because Burgundy is set as a country of interest. I probably just dismissed it. Okay, we failed that mission. And we're going to get the mission to take Falls. Try our best. First, we're going to slaughter this army. Excellent. Wiped out completely. Wunderbar. Now we're going to go and kill these guys. Then we're going to go and carpet siege everything. Because I'm only fighting these 3 provinces. Oh my god, they actually got wiped out. How? Why is that? I'm 1 tech level ahead of them. I've got cannons, although Alsace isn't. Wasn't that much bigger. Whoa, call to arms. You know what? How do I customize this more? Can't right-click. I can switch between pop-up and alert, but how do I make it pausable? Used to be you could right-click on an alert to get your little pop-up. Defensive war. So, Bohemia, who is my ally, generally speaking. Listen, dude, I don't think this is going to work out between us. Saxony is allied. Will they come in, is the question. They would have right away, right? Right, because it was an offensive war, which means that Bohemia is that much more likely to deny the call. They might not have been called in. They might get called in if I join. I don't really want to lose the prestige, but I got my own thing going on over here. All right, I'll accept. So far, so good. It'd be really nice if I could end up with Nuremberg in all of this. Okay, Bohemia has stayed out of it. That's fantastic. Rebel Uprising is building up a bit, although they're still 9 years away. I'll take this action. It's wood, so there's a penalty, but it doesn't look like they're being reinforced. I have oh, I got the river crossing as well. Ooh, that's bad. I do have the higher discipline, which is incidentally leading to higher tactics, and I do have the higher morale. We should win this, although the -2 makes it dramatically harder. It'd be really nice if we got reinforced. Like today. Today. I assume, yeah, Wurzburg. Come on. There we go. God, that -2. Did not realize we get the river crossing. I have a maneuver of 2. Alright, I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing, okay, Wurzburg? I think I helped you out enough. It's a good thing they didn't call in Bohemia, or I'd be a very unhappy camper. We have no siege bonus anymore, which is a little sad. I should go and smash that. I'm going to concern myself primarily with my war and hope that Wurzburg can just finish its own stuff off, although it might not be able to. We'd always reinforce them if something happens. Got cannons now, so some of the sieges will go a bit better. Select army. Oh, right. It's a great time for me to consolidate. That might have been too much. Slightly too much. But you know what? We can replace that with a cannon. There we go. Detach. Come over here. Good, because I was over my force limit, remember? And split you guys in half and do one of those. So these guys probably won't come for me, simply on the basis that I'm not in any territory they're interested in. So we should be free to do whatever we want over here relatively safely, but we will have to babysit things a wee bit. I hope they finished their move. They did. Wow. Suicidal units. Okay. Every now and again, they'll do that. All right, this bodes war. Well, the last thing I want is Wurzburg to get overrun with stuff, but... Bavaria. Sure, Bavaria. Who are you? Ansbach, Frankfurt, and Augsburg. That's like crazy chaos. The HRE is always like war, 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 war. So, can we avoid a coalition on ourselves? I don't know. It'd be nice if there were still coalitions against Burgundy, because then they wouldn't be able to join a coalition against me. But I'm worried that at this point, that's all been cleared up. Yeah, siege that. That's fine. I don't mind that one bit. Okay, so mostly I just have to babysit things to make sure that this army doesn't move towards me at any point whatsoever. And other than that, if everyone just sits around sieging their own stuff, that doesn't bother me at all. Of course, Falls is going to be a little bit slower to siege. Actually, it might not have a cannon. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't have it. Actually have a claim on that. So I can get into unrest in Ulm, or I can pay like $10 for a stability. Yeah, please. That would be lovely. That's less than ideal. Although I won't really care if people, you know, lose their wars or this or that. Actually, what is the war for? Saxon wants to conquer Bamberg. Yeah, it might be less than good. If they did attack here, I'd probably have to go and reinforce. I was hoping they'd just siege forever. Maniac, canceled military access. Alright, that's fine. How am I doing, by the way? I don't have a royal marriage with France. There we go. Back the way it should be. Nobility concerned with loss of privileges. Loses stability or lose 5 army tradition. I'm gonna, as much as I like army tradition, I do like my stability a bit more, so I'm gonna go that way. I'm not convinced it's necessarily correct, but there it is. That's starting to be a bit of an army. Maybe I should have helped chase them down and stack wipe them at the time. But hey, it's not my war. I'm not that concerned about it. All I want is this. Oh, I got my cannon, so I can go and add some siege power there. Just one cannon makes a big difference. It's enough to give us a +1 in our siege progress. Hungary no longer considers Austria a rival. Really? Interesting. If I were to add a second cannon to the siege, is that enough to speed it along? No, it needs the 4. Tell you what, I'll go and help sieging Ansbach. We're going to put a cut in this video. things are going pretty well now. Whether we're going to trigger a massive coalition here if we eat all these things up is a big question, and I think the answer might be yes. We can save a little bit of AE if we vassalize them instead of annexing them, but they're so small, it doesn't seem particularly worthwhile, and especially since currently we don't have the extra relationship slot. Although, yeah, there we go. Get military drill. We've got a discount because I've got the 10% cheaper idea thing going on, which is nice. If I grab this, first of all, we're going to get the morale, which is nice. But we're also going to get 2 extra diplomatic relations, which makes it a lot less costly to have these guys as vassals. Plus, I have a few modifiers to make annexing vassals cheaper. Plus, they'll give me a tiny bit more money. Yeah, this might work. All right, that's good enough for now. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.